Elected Town Council. My name's Kathy Larkin, Town Clerk. I will be opening the meeting this evening. We'll start with swearing in, so if the council will please stand. And raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Connecticut, and you'll faithfully discharge according to law your duties as Southington Town Councilors to the best of your ability, so help you God? I do. Congratulations.
Alex, if they have family members.
Mrs. Guy's husband wants to come forward. Okay, want to get some pictures for you?
Very nice. No, they're breaking the room apart the first night.
Let's get a round of applause for those new members.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to ask for nomination for a chairperson.
I'd like
Mr. Del
to
Santo?
appoint, or make a motion to appoint Paul Chaplinsky as the chairperson. Paul's been the chair the last couple of years. He served on the town council since 2019. I've served with Mr. Chaplinsky on the Planning and Zoning Commission for about 10 years together. It's my honor to ask him to be ask him to be appointed as chairperson today.
Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, I will call the roll. Paul Chaplinsky,
Yes.
Jennifer Klock,
Yes.
Michael Del Santo,
Yes.
Kristen Gaida,
Yes.
James Morelli,
Yes.
Toni Morrison,
Yes.
Christopher Palmieri,
Yes.
Joshua Serafino,
Yes.
David Zoni.
Yes.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate the support of the entire town council, and I want to congratulate everybody on their elections. I also want to give a special congratulations to our newcomers, Josh Serafino and Kristen Gaida, and welcome back Mr. Dave Zoni to the council after serving on the council before. So congrats to all of you, and really looking forward to working with you and the rest of the council this term. You know, our focus, collaboration and transparency, and continuing to move the needle forward for the council and the town by working collaboratively with each other and the other boards. So looking forward to the next 2 years. With that, I would like to ask for a motion for the election of a vice chairperson.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to nominate Jennifer Klock for vice chair. Jen has obviously been a public servant in this town for quite a while. She had 2 terms on planning and zoning. Last couple of years was the term on the town council, and of course now another term on the council. She's been chair of the Open Space Acquisition Committee. She's also sponsored or chaired the POCD 10 years ago, and she's co-chair of it this one too. We have to do it every 10 years. So I've worked with her on a lot of things, and it's my great pleasure to nominate her for vice chair.
So we have a nomination for vice chairperson of Jennifer Clock. Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations?
Yes. I would like to nominate Christopher Palmieri as vice chair in the spirit of bipartisanship and as a result of the election. I think the public is anxious to see us work in a bipartisan way, and I think this would be a good step in that direction. So I'd like to nominate Chris.
Thank you, Councilman Zoni. Any other nominations for vice chairperson? Any other nominations? Chris,
If I could just,
please.
I have a statement that I'd like to share related to this. As we begin the new term, I believe we have an opportunity to show our residents that we genuinely heard them during the past election. Beyond concerns about roads, taxes, or other specific issues, the message we heard over and over again was clear. People want us to work together, collaboratively, for the good of the entire town, not for individual political parties. Tonight, we took an important first step by unanimously supporting Paul as chair. In that same spirit of unity, Dave, Kristen, and I would like to offer a suggestion for consideration that we select a Democrat to serve as vice chair. We make this recommendation as a sincere demonstration that we are committed to leading differently this term. By sharing these leadership roles, we can show residents that we understand their call for cooperation and that we intend to work together in a meaningful and visible way. So I respectfully ask for your support in taking this step toward a more collaborative, transparent, and united council, one that reflects the community we serve. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Palmieri. Excuse my cold. Okay, so we have a nomination. We have two nominations for vice chair. Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations? Okay. Hearing none, Madam Clerk, why don't we call the roll? We're calling the roll. Each person should be saying a name that they would like to see appointed. It's either Councilwoman Clock or Councilman Palmieri. Madam Clerk.
Jennifer Clock,
Clock.
Michael Del Santo,
Clock.
Kristen Gaida,
Palmieri.
James Morelli, Toni Morrison,
Clock.
Christopher Palmieri,
Mary?
Josh Serafino,
Clock.
David Zoni,
Palmieri.
Paul Chaplinsky.
Clock. Motion passes 6-3 for Jennifer Clock as vice chairperson. Congratulations, Jen. Jen, did you want to say any words?
Well, I want to thank our entire council. I appreciate everyone's passion, and I've worked with all of you in some way or another, and those that have worked with me know that I absolutely am collaborative and work towards transparency and for the good of the town. So thank you, everybody, for your support.
Thank you, Jen, and I have no doubts that, that this council can work extremely collaboratively as a council, so we're looking forward to that. Okay, moving on, we're looking item D, the appointment of town attorney. I'm looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to appoint Lou Martaccio, again, as the town attorney. Lou served the council well the last couple of years, and I think he deserves another opportunity to serve as the town attorney.
Okay, we have a motion for Lou Martaccio. I think we would say Lou Martaccio the Jr.
Sure.
is the technical. Louis J. Any other nominations for town attorney? Okay, can I get a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Councilman Palmieri. Any discussion on this? Okay, hearing no discussion, can we please call the roll, Madam Clerk?
Jennifer Clark,
Yes.
Michael Del Santo.
Yes.
Kristen Gaida,
Yes.
James Morelli,
Yes.
Toni Morrison,
Yes.
Christopher Palmieri,
Yes.
Joshua Serafino,
Yes.
David Zoni,
Yes.
Paul Chaplinsky.
Yes, the motion passes unanimously for Attorney Lou Martaccio. Congratulations, Lou. Okay, item E, appointment of Assistant Town Attorney. Can I have a motion? Jen?
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Lou Martaccio III as our Assistant Town Attorney.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Oops, sorry.
Oh,
Is
sorry.
that you,
Yes.
Mrs. Gaida?
Mrs. Gaida, sure.
Councilwoman Gaida, we have a motion and a second for Louis Martaccio III. Is it J as well? It must be, right? Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Any discussion for the Assistant Town Attorney role? Okay, hearing none, Madam Clerk, calling the roll for Louis J. Martaccio III as Assistant Town Attorney.
Jennifer Clark,
Yes.
Michael Del Santo.
Yes.
Kristen Gaida,
Yes.
James Morelli,
Yes.
Toni Morrison,
Yes.
Christopher Palmieri,
Yes.
Joshua Serafino,
Yes.
David Zoni,
Yes.
Paul Chaplinsky.
Yes, motion passes unanimously for Assistant Town Attorney. Congratulations. Welcome. And somebody can get a photo of Dad pinning. Just slow the pinning down, please, Lou.
Is Lou the fourth here?
Thank you. Okay, we're moving on to item G. We're looking for a motion for an adoption of the 2026 meeting schedule, which has been provided to the town council. I'm sorry. Oh, I apologize. Review and adoption of permanent rules and procedures. We'll do that one first.
Mr. Chair, I do have
Yes.
the new ones that were,
Yes.
proposed that were, sent out today, and maybe needs a hard copy.
Yeah, why don't you want to pass them down?
Yeah, if you don't mind, because
The proposed,
Circulated. You have them, right? New ones?
okay, so just as a little context, what was passed out just now was emailed last night or earlier today, this morning, and early this morning. The proposed policies and procedures, if you'll allow me, are the same as last time, with a few requests for changes. And if it's okay, I'd like to just summarize the changes, all of them, and then we can go back and maybe talk about each one and any others that anybody has. So, building off of last council's policies and procedures, there's a proposal to eliminate the self-insurance committee. I had spoken to Chairman John Leary and also Joe Lebenik, who really was one of the people who spearheaded the self-insurance committee. And the feeling was that we could streamline the operations by bringing the self-insurance discussions directly to the Board of Finance. And what happens from the self-insurance committee usually goes to the Board of Finance anyways and gets approved or denied by the Board of Finance or changed. And so to streamline the operations, they would bring the same discussions directly to the Board of Finance instead of to a town council subcommittee. And the council would get regular updates from the town manager from the Board of Finance meeting. And of course, the town council has the review of the Board of Finance meeting minutes, which we obviously have a vote on there. So that's one proposal. The second proposal is item 13. Item 13, under Town Manager, I won't go and read this, but a lot of the feedback, we've heard a lot of feedback in trying to smooth the operations of the communications between the council and the town manager. And to ensure transparency across, and better collaboration across the entire council, we wanted to streamline the communications to and from the town manager so that any town council member who has a need, hears something from the community, would like something from the town manager, and by the way, this also goes for the town attorney in the next section, section 14, the entire council gets informed. So instead of a town council member sending a note to the town manager and nobody knowing about it, if that happens, the town manager will oblige, but will inform the council, the entire council, of the work that he's doing, either by copying the council on a response, or if he feels it's more appropriate at the next meeting during town manager updates, all requests that were made between meetings, the town manager would essentially update the entire council on what was going on. So the only thing, would be administrative stuff. Hey, I need a copy of something, a report. If it's not going to take substantial work by the town manager or town staff, and it's just asking for that, again, town manager can just summarize those and take care of them. So that's, in a nutshell, with the town manager and also the town attorney to ensure that there's good communication going from to and from the entire council to both. And, with that we recognize that the town attorney is not a town employee. It's a political appointment. And the town attorney bills the town for the work that he or she does based on the requests that come from the various members of this board and our subcommittees. So in fairness to the residents and the taxpayers, the work that gets done by the town attorney, the thought is the full council should be supportive of any request made to the town attorney so that we're not having a single town council member maybe spending thousands of dollars on a request that maybe the full council doesn't want to spend that type of money on. So that's essentially the concept behind 13 and 14. And then I believe the last one was the minority leader under section 10, which I don't think was in color for some reason. So section 10, in the last time, the last couple terms, if you go back to 2013, 14, 2013, 15, 17, 19, we've always, just like all appointments, the town council decides on and votes on all the appointments. And so we feel it's important that the council take into consideration all aspects of our committees and also the minority leader. And so here, this clarifies, because we didn't have good clarification last time. If you recall, we really ran into some stumbling blocks with determining whether the role should be appointed, whether it was designated, what would happen if there was a tie between a designation. It would go to the votes from the election. And so our proposal here is the minority leader is an important role to ensure good communication between the town chair, the chairman of the majority party with the town manager. It's a significant responsibility, but also, for those who might not know logistically, as a chairperson, we set the agenda, so we'll have a regular meeting every week or two with the town manager, myself as the chairperson, to set that agenda. Likewise, the minority leader will have the opportunity to do the same, to ensure that the minority leader is hearing the agenda, getting the information in advance. And so it's an important role. And what that minority leader role does is it helps to minimize and keep 9 town councilors having to go to the town manager and spending 9 or 10 or 11 hours a week, every week or two, explaining the same thing. So we would disseminate the information to our caucuses. So those are the major proposal changes from the last term. I'll now open that up for discussion. Chris.
Thank you. Just concern, generally, Paul, as you mentioned, I know your caucus met and drafted some of this. I know you said that in the email. But I personally did not see this myself until 3 o'clock this afternoon, because it was sent to the town council email. I didn't check that until after my workday. We have not had a chance to review it thoroughly. There are some concerns about some of the changes mentioned. I guess just trying to go in order. The minority leader position, the town attorney, Lou, welcome back, clarified this last time, and we got a legal opinion, and there was language changed, and now this is a suggested change from our legal opinion from the town attorney. The statement of the minority leader shall inform the chairman of any planned absence from his caucus member no less than 24 hours prior to a meeting or event. I don't know, I have concerns about that. The town manager page, not so much a town manager, but the mention of use of the letterhead. The charter is pretty clear of the authority of the council being that all 9 members as a body. We really don't have authority as council members outside of that, and I'm concerned that creating individual letterhead, you know, I know this came up at the last meeting, and I know Paul, you, myself, and Lou were on an email chain where, Lou, you actually recommended we not have separate communication from individual members, so I proposed the opposite, like that we are clear that the communication is from the body, not from individual council members. So, you know, I'm concerned to go that way. The mention of the town attorney, only the full council shall be able to reach out to the town attorney for a legal opinion. I believe that's a direct contradiction to the town charter. I don't think that's able, because we should have privileged conversations with the town attorney in the event that, you know, there could be a concern raised among one of us. So, you know, Lou, I'll ask you that in a minute. And I guess it's just generally the fact that something's so important, to be given that not even a day before the meeting, and we certainly haven't had time to meet and review that, it doesn't feel like collaboration to me.
Okay.
So Lou, can you talk specifically, the one that probably is, and the elimination of self-insurance committee, I don't know that I agree with that either. But Lou, can you speak directly to the town attorney role and having an individual council member be able to reach out to the town attorney?
Sure, I'd be happy to. For clarity's sake, I just saw this a moment ago. Obviously, I wasn't appointed as town attorney until 5 minutes ago. Even before you mentioned it, it did raise some concerns for me. A large part of the town attorney's job is giving legal opinions. I give them, I would hesitate to state the number of them, but I give an awful lot of them. And I know that prior to my appointment, the previous town attorney, who's seated to my right, did the same. In fact, when I was appointed, one of the things that he sat down and talked to me about is there is a quasi confidentiality component to the town attorney's role, because my job is to represent the council as a whole. And by representing the council as a whole, I have a duty to each and every one of you, all 9 of you. And then the hybrid aspect of it deals with when I'm approached or contacted by an individual council member to ask an opinion, I have an ethical obligation to maintain and keep that confidential unless or until, and it certainly happened on numerous occasions in the past, I am given consent to release it. Because oftentimes the individual council member does not want this information public, whether it relates to a matter that's ongoing with the council or their life that relates to the council. Again, I don't have a learned opinion on any of the changes because I literally just looked at these for the first time. But that is certainly a concern that I could elaborate on it if the council so chooses.
So that's concerning too, is the fact that we haven't even had a legal review of these, and yet it's on for action. So, you know, maybe I'd suggest we adopt the previous policies and procedures, and then this could be reviewed, because, again, the fact that we haven't had a chance to review it and an attorney hasn't had a chance to review it is concerning.
Okay. Just to be clear, the town attorney language states that any requests for a legal opinion as to whether a person has a conflict of interest themselves is permissible. So of course, if you think that you're having I have a potential conflict of interest on something, you go to the town attorney, you get an opinion. But on behalf of the town council, to ask for legal opinions to be written, if 9 people are going and asking for legal opinions on just about anything, we could be running up legal bills that maybe the full council as a whole might not agree with some of those. So we should definitely look at that and see, and get some additional feedback on that. Other discussions on that?
Yeah, I'd certainly, oh, sorry, go on, Jen.
Go ahead, Jen.
Yeah.
Vice Chair.
I'll go, okay. So I do hear what you're saying, Chris. Many of these that I read today were born upon some of the issues that were quite frustrating the last couple of years. I think we could all probably agree, the letterhead, utilizing town resources, not being consistent. So I think the intent is there, and that I 100% agree with it. I have concerns about the committees not being, because we've had the delay, we need to, in some format, move forward with something so that we establish our committees so we can get to work.
That's why I suggested that we adopt the prior policies and procedures that were vetted properly through our town attorney, so that we could move forward with that.
Okay, we've heard you twice on this, Chris. Anybody else? Tony?
Yeah, I would suggest if we're going to talk about, not agreeing to this stuff tonight, or not taking a vote on it, I would suggest we leave out the removal of the self-insurance committee. I think this is a very, very straightforward thing. It really is. I've been on it for 2 years. I'm the vice chair. And frankly, every meeting was just looking at numbers that essentially the Board of Finance should be looking at. The only decisions that were made are important ones to do with policies. But secondly, the one that's made every year is how much we pay in actual dues to receive the insurance, which obviously is an issue for employees and the town and the Board of Ed. That decision, again, comes up to the Board of Finance, and it should be made by the Board of Finance. And then it will come here, and we will discuss it and, change as necessary or leave it alone. But the actual work that's done every month of getting 9 people in a room to look at a number of figures in a spreadsheet and just chat conversationally about it, I believe is a waste of time. It doesn't allow for efficiency of this group, and it also can be handled by the Board of Finance at one of their meetings, in a sort of a 10-minute discussion. So I would like to move ahead with that tonight. If we put other things aside, I believe we should. We should take a vote on that.
Okay, anybody else like to chime in?
I have a question, not directly towards Mr. Palmieri or Councilman Palmieri, but did you say you had a concern with letting the chair or someone know that someone's not going to come to a meeting?
Within 24 hours notice, yeah. It says within 24 hours notice.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
So if someone has a planned
So-
vacation?
So someone could, planned vacation is a little bit different.
Okay. The only reason why I think it's important is because I've chaired lots of subcommittees, and I'm on the telephone at 3:30 before a 4 o'clock meeting. Hey, guys,
Yeah.
what's going on? So I think maybe if we can set the example here at the council, people serving on subcommittees need to let the chair, or at least the town staff member running the subcommittee meeting, hey, I'm not going to be there, so we know whether or not we have a quorum. A lot of us, you especially, Chris, we have to leave work to come to these subcommittee meetings. We have to take personal time or vacation time, so it's distracting and disappointing sometimes when we come to, say, a public works meeting and we don't have a quorum. And we find out, oh, I'm out of town because I forgot to call. I thought maybe this would be a good idea to put it at the council level so we could all be informative to let folks know. Obviously, if we're sick and it's an email. I mean, if you're in the hospital on your deathbed, different story. Of course, we don't know where this person is, but we all speak with each other. We know when people aren't going to be here. I just thought it'd be a good idea at the council level to possibly set an example for subcommittees. That's just my take.
Okay. It is pretty important to have, to ensure that we have a quorum. This board is different than other boards. Typically, a quorum from a subcommittee is just having a majority. This board requires 6 of the 9 to be present. And for the most part, I don't think we were ever notified of an absence, Chris, previously from the last 2 years.
You always did know.
No, never knew, in advance of a meeting to ensure that we have a quorum. So if I'm okay with softening the language a little bit by saying, shall try to ensure that you try to give 24 hours notice for planning purposes. If we need to cancel a meeting, we don't want the town attorney showing up and billing us a minimum of 4 hours because we don't have a quorum. So.
It'd actually be 6.
6 hours, thank you. So yeah, Chris, if we want to soften the 24-hour language and say, hey, you'll try to get advance notice. I mean, I ask my team exactly to do the same thing as well. Hey, let me know so that when I'm talking to the minority leader, I can also check to see if they're going to have 1 or 2 people missing because, 2 and 2 adds to 4, and all of a sudden we don't have a meeting.
So I guess the theme overall is we'd ask for more time because we just got it today and we want to be able to have a voice too. Like you had time to review it. So I'll make a motion to table, and I would also suggest that we adopt the previous.
Do you want to allow further discussion before we take the second for the table?
Sure.
So you'll remove your motion?
Sure.
This way we can get through the rest of everybody's opinion, is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. Councilman
Yes,
Zoni.
I would suggest that we put this off with a table, only because we just saw this afternoon. It hasn't had any legal review by our attorney. We're not sure if some of it may conflict with our charter. And I have a tendency over the years to learn one thing. The law of unintended consequences will always kick in somewhere. And I think this is complicated enough that it should have a proper review.
Okay.
So
Fair.
in that case, I think it's really time to table this and let us look at it. We'll vote on the next meeting.
Sounds good. Thank you for your opinion, Councilman Zoni. Others?
Just a
Tony.
quick thing on that, Councillor Zoni. The Board of Ed is waiting for the information from the Self-Insurance Committee for its budget, and it wants it in the next week or so. If we don't remove the Self-Insurance Committee and essentially keep it going, then the next time we meet as a council will be December 8th. So, I would prefer this was done now, if nobody has any objections, in order to essentially, get things moving on giving those numbers to the Board of Ed. I know the Board of Ed need them before the town, I understand, but based on timing. But I'd like to see that happen.
Okay.
So if we left the self-insurance out, I would appreciate that.
Okay, thanks, Tony. Anybody else like to give some opinion on it? Okay, so I will say this. So we have a couple options here. We can table this, we can adopt the last one, or we can adopt some components of this. For example, I think it's important that self-insurance be discussed. I think we've all had a lot of experience on self-insurance. We don't need a legal opinion on self-insurance. I actually would propose also that we consider, taking it in pieces. So, Chris, to your point on the letterhead, let's get the legal review on it. So we could adopt these without the letterhead and say, okay, we remove the letterhead piece that we want to have a review on. The town attorney piece with respect to a legal opinion on whether it's appropriate to limit to only, engaging the town attorney on conflicts of interest, and then the body as a whole. We could say, hey, let's eliminate the new language there on the town attorney and adopt the previous language, and we can ask the town attorney to look at the proposed language and see if there's anything that we might want to update for the next meeting. So I would suggest that we also consider removing the town attorney that you mentioned, Chris, the town letterhead, and then I do agree that we should consider the self-insurance. I think, as I mentioned, we can decide today whether to keep that or not. There's no new information there. A number of us have sat on this. I think, Chris, you sat on it, I sat on it, Jen, Tony, you never have? Yeah. And then the minority leader, without adopting something, the minority leader position actually doesn't exist. So the minority leader is not a chartered position, it is a town council policy position, so until we adopt policies, we can't actually appoint a minority leader. There is no policy to actually adopt it, so I'd like to get that started. So I would suggest we at least adopt it as proposed here, and take a vote on it, and then we can always take proposals for changes next meeting. That's another option.
So again, I mentioned table, I know I took that back for discussion. That's why I suggested we adopt the previous policies and procedures that, again, had full review, and if we want to make changes and add to those, we could do that moving forward. But I am concerned with all, and Paul, I think you touched on everything that was a suggested change. You know, again, Lou gave us an opinion on the letterhead, I have it right here. It was to you and I had asked at the previous council, and he gave us advice that we shouldn't be using the council letterhead, you know, so I guess I'll make a motion to table at this time. It seems like discussion was over.
Okay, we have a motion to table.
I'll second.
We have a second, there's no more discussion, Tony, sorry.
For clarification, Mr. Chairman, I
We're
apologize.
we're motioning to table the agenda topic. That's it, yep. There's an agenda topic of review, adoption of permanent rules and procedures. There's a motion and a second to table that. Madam Clerk, call the roll on the table.
Clock,
No.
Del Santo.
No.
Gaida,
Yes.
Morelli,
Sorry, Tony, Jim?
Table.
Morrison,
No.
Palmieri,
Yes.
Serafino,
No.
Zoni,
Yes.
Chaplinsky.
No, the motion to table fails 4-5, so that puts us back, just so everybody knows, once there's a motion and a second to table, we can no longer discuss a topic. That's the reason why I did have to stop the discussion there. So now the discussion is back open, and I would like to propose that we adopt the proposed meeting minutes without the proposal for section, I would be looking for a motion for this, without section 13, paragraph 1, which is related to the town letterhead, we eliminate that. Without section 14, the town attorney, the new wording in the town attorney, we eliminate that. So town manager letterhead, eliminate. Town attorney, we eliminate all the new verbiage there, and we look for a review. And then, and I think, and we keep the rest of the proposal.
Can I ask a question? How come we can't keep the minority leader in the same language that it was in the previous policy and procedures?
We could.
Because I think
I'm
that's-
asking, yeah, sorry.
I think it's important that as, you know, being in the minority, that we have a say in how we run our caucus over here and who we appoint to be our minority leader and our voice for the council.
Understood. Thank you, Councilwoman Gaida.
Section 8 on the sewer committee, I think you forgot, all the way in the back.
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
The sewer committee, section 8, all the way in the back page, the last sentence was a change. I don't think that was discussed.
Oh, yeah, there was a change on the number of people. It was a reduction of one person from the sewer committee, because we are, the sewer committee has the water department on it, and since water is separate from sewer, it's difficult getting a quorum there, so that was also suggested. So we're looking for a motion from somebody. Jen,
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chair.
Mike, which motion?
Motion to remove number 13, paragraph 1, and then section 14 about the town attorney.
So removing the town manager letterhead language and all of the town attorney, the new town attorney language
Correct.
that was proposed.
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
Second from Mr. Morrison. Any discussion?
I have a clarification question.
Yes.
If this goes,
Yeah, I did receive a call, by the way, everybody, today. People are having a hard time hearing us remotely on the streaming channel, so if everybody can be diligent about including the town manager and the town attorney and town clerk, using our microphones when we all speak, that would be great.
My question is, if we do adopt this as proposed, we will remove the self-insurance committee.
That is correct.
Okay,
Thanks for clarifying that.
thank you.
Yep, as proposed, the self-insurance committee is removed. And I'd like to just clarify that, you know, no matter what happens with this vote, we can always ask for an amendment at the next meeting on any of this stuff. So it's all still fair game at the next meeting. Okay?
I would like to state to the rest of the councilors that I believe that that's a non-consequential organization, committee, whatever we call it, and that we would be better served with a consultant which goes to those meetings and advises that council anyway. So I think it's a waste of time and effort, and I think we would probably do better to not have that committee. That's my opinion.
Thank you, Councilman Morelli. Any other discussion? We have a motion and a second on the table.
The current motion.
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Chris
Mr.
did
Zoney.
suggest, Mr. Palmieri did suggest that we adopt the section from the 2023 policy and procedures regarding the minority area leader. Can we adopt that?
So do you want to make a motion to amend that? Is that what you're saying?
Well, he's got the original motion. I would like him to amend it to include the adoption from the 2023 procedure.
You want to use the old minority leader language?
Yes.
Did you want to amend your motion?
No.
Okay. Councilwoman Guy, did you want to?
Oh, no, I'm okay.
You're all
thank you.
set? Okay. Any other discussions? Okay. Hearing none. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Clock,
Yes.
Del Santo,
Yes.
Gaida,
No,
Morelli,
Yes.
Morrison,
Yes.
Palmieri,
No.
Serafino,
Yes.
Zoni,
No.
Chaplinsky.
Yes, the motion passes 6-3. And again, I would like to encourage everybody to bring suggestions. I think this at least gets the council going so that we can start to work on these subcommittees that are in here and start to get our appointments ready for the next meeting. But certainly open to the discussion at the next meeting about any additional changes or modifications that we feel are important. And if everybody agrees, I would like to get everybody's agreement that we have the town attorney look at all the proposed stuff for any issues that he sees, including what was proposed for the town attorney. Anybody object to that? Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on. Now we can go on to the adoption of the 2026 meeting schedule, which has been provided to the town council in the packet. And I believe the town clerk has a copy of that. Is that correct, Madam Clerk?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second.
So we have a motion from Mike and a second from Chris on the proposed meeting schedule. Any other discussion? Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes unanimously. Before we get into the regular meeting, I'd like to ask for a 5-minute recess so folks can see their families and they can decide whether they want to stay or not stay. So we'll take a 5-minute recess, Madam Clerk. The time is 7:51 PM, November 24th, 2025, and we are now into the regular meeting of the Southington Town Council. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Jennifer Klock,
Here.
Michael Del Santo.
Present.
Kristen Gaida,
Here.
James Morelli,
Here.
Toni Morrison,
Here.
Christopher Palmieri,
Here?
Joshua Serafino,
Here.
David Zoni,
Here.
Paul Chaplinsky.
Here, we have a quorum. Can everybody please rise for the prayer and the flag salute?
Heavenly Father, may we consider the people of Southington and always render what is right and just for our citizens. Help us to be compassionate and caring for each individual while still seeking what is appropriate for the entire community. Give us wisdom and guidance. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thanks, everybody. And again, welcome to the town councilors and especially the new team members for this term. Looking for a motion for item 2 for the minutes of item A, October 27, 2025, town council regular meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from October 27th.
We have a motion from Chris and a second from Jim. And just a reminder, if you weren't here for those, probably abstaining, but I won't tell you how to vote. Madam Clerk, why don't you call the roll? Actually, why don't we just voice vote? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And any abstentions? Okay, so we have Zoni, Gaida, and Serafino all abstaining. So the motion passes 603. Abstentions. Same thing, item B, we're looking for a motion to approve the October 29, 2025 Town Council special meeting minutes.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Mike, with a motion?
Second.
Second from Jim. Any discussion on that? I think we're going to have 3 abstentions on that as well, is that correct?
I'm gonna
And you, Chris, as well? Okay, so why don't we, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, no opposition and abstentions. So we have Zoni, Gaida, Mr. Palmieri, and Serafino abstaining. So the motion there passes 5-0, 4 abstentions. Did I get that right?
Good math.
Okay, item 3, councilperson communications. We are looking, so we are looking to, first, item A, determination of a minority leader. Per the just recently adopted town council policies and procedures. We're looking for a motion.
Can I make a motion to appoint Christopher Palmieri as the minority leader?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to have Chris Palmieri as the minority leader. The floor is open for discussion. Councilwoman Gaida, you were the motioner. Do you want to make any comments?
Sure. I think Christopher is a good fit for the position. Christopher has been on town council for many, many cycles. He is great at what he does, and I think he would be a perfect fit for the position.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Klock,
Yes.
Del Santo.
Yes.
Gaida,
Yes.
Morelli,
Yes.
Morrison,
Yes.
Palmieri,
Yes.
Serafino,
Yes.
Zoni,
Yes.
Chaplinsky.
Yes, the motion passes unanimously. Congratulations, Chris. Okay, wonderful. Glad we got through that. Now, any other councilperson communications? The floor is open. Vice Chair.
Yes, I have several. Okay, so I will start with, so Bread for Life. On November 11th, I had the opportunity to spend some time with the team at Bread for Life, prepping meals for both their on-site serving and homebound deliveries. I was beyond impressed with the machine that Missy Cipriano and her team at Bread for Life have running daily. If you have the opportunity to lend a hand, I highly suggest it. And most importantly, I wanted to make sure I mentioned that they are on a mission. They are not just running a soup kitchen. It may have been how it started, but they are making great strides to remove the stigma, and they go above and beyond for the people that they serve. One story of I'm sure many was they spent numerous months recently helping one person find employment, and they finally did. And I'm just so proud, and I feel Southington is so beyond lucky to have this team. So thank you to Bread for Life for all they do. The second is we had the opportunity on November 22nd, which was last Saturday, to do some bell ringing. So Tony, also Kristen, we were down at the Southington Walmart with a live Salvation Army band. My son was also helping as well, which was great. So we have such generous residents. Thank you to everybody who came out and donated and volunteered their time. The third is I wanted to just mention our first responders in our community. They are doing a fantastic job of community outreach, and we see it every day kind of in their feed, but I wanted to give them some attention. Our police are having a Stuff a Cruiser on December 6th. That's at Walmart from 8 to 12. And our fire just had their Pie It Forward fundraiser, and coming up, they're going to be on the town green on November 30th. From 9 to 3 p.m. and collecting new and gently used toys. So again, we are so lucky to have our first responders, and I also want to congratulate them on their numerous police and fire staff who just recently received promotions and were recognized formally. Thank you for your service. Southington truly has the best of the best. Finally, I would like to add a motion to add an item under new business, under C2, for an appointment of a police commissioner.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to add a police commission appointment. Any discussion? Okay. Chris?
I'd just be remiss, we talked about this in advance of the meeting. I thought we had an agreement that we put the fire commission appointment on for special reasons with the the time constraint with looking for the chief. So, again, we're talking about collaboration. To me, this is not very collaborative.
Thank you, Chris. Any other discussion?
Mr. Chair.
Yes,
what-
please.
What am I missing? Right, we need to appoint a Republican to the police commission, right? A police commissioner's term is ending.
Yes.
So what's the collaboration issue?
So when we set this meeting agenda, because there wasn't a chair, there was no leadership positions established, Paul and I had a discussion and agreed that we would move forward with the fire commission appointment because we knew that there was a time-sensitive nature there. The person serving that position, I knew personally, said she was not interested in being reappointed, and they're hiring a chief. So there was a time-sensitive nature to that. Police commission, on the other hand, which we talked about, is the person stays in the position until the appointment is done. But there's no urgency there like there was with fire. So because tonight was our first meeting, we wanted to make it more about the council, and that's what we talked about. That's why I'm saying it's not really a collaborative effort when we agreed to something different.
So instead of making a decision tonight, we'd make it 2 weeks from tonight.
Right.
The same person, same position, same person leaving, same person. I mean, this is checkers. This isn't chess, this issue.
Okay.
I don't know, I feel like we're gonna get fought at everything that we're not gonna collaborate upon tonight. I just don't understand
What
this.
Okay.
seems clear to me is if I don't agree with what the majority wants, then there's
So
opposition.
why don't we ask if anybody else has suggestions or discussion on the motion in a second to add an agenda item?
Well,
Tony?
yeah, just quickly. I must admit, I'm again, like Mike.
Yeah, just talking to your mic, Tony.
I'm troubled in understanding this, purely because we have a new council now, and we can move ahead to do whatever we want. And a routine appointment, which only really concerns these people on this side of the dais, let's get it over with and get it done.
Well,
Okay, let's let other folks I want to avoid the back and forth if we can, Chris. Anybody else? Discussion to add the agenda item?
Yes.
Mr. Zoni?
Just a quick question. Why wasn't this on the agenda to begin with?
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Hearing none,
I just want to point out one more thing, I'm not going to go back and forth with anyone, but to that point, Tony, I also offered, if we wanted to, and we were in agreement, to add all the council subcommittees too. And I said we would work it out and give you, as long as I knew the number of seats, so I offered that. So that's really not genuine either, when I'm telling you, we offered, and we agreed, Paul said he didn't want to put them on, so they're not on, all the council subcommittees. So fine, we didn't. So that's why, to me, this is disingenuous, because we had an agreement. That's all.
okay, thank you. So I'll clarify for everybody that's here, before there is a council, before there is a town council adopted, so before tonight, there is no council, and there is no person to make an agenda. With no person to make an agenda, the town manager and the town clerk must make an agenda. So that means that the two parties need to agree on the agenda set forth by the town manager and the town attorney for the organizational part of the meeting, to the establishment of this council. Once the council is established, we follow Robert's Rules of Order, which means that once you're in the business meeting, you can add agenda items. Chris and I went back a few times, and the issue that occurred was that I had originally proposed adding all of the appointments, including the subcommittees, including the chartered public safety boards, which is our police and fire. The most important things that we have is safety. And so we didn't feel it was appropriate to exclude those. We did go back and forth, Chris, but Chris wanted to exclude our public safety appointments. Our caucus felt afterwards.
No.
You did, I'm sorry, Chris. You did not want the police commission appointment, is that correct?
Paul, I said yes for the fire commission
Correct.
appointment because of the time-sensitive nature of it.
So and I had pointed out to you, Chris, that the time-sensitive nature is that the fire commission is hiring a fire chief and they need to get started. I also pointed out that the police commission is hiring new personnel, and they have a meeting upcoming for which they wanted to have their full police commission. They had an issue with almost not having a quorum at the last meeting. So our caucus talked about it, and we felt it was appropriate to not argue not put the town manager in the middle of an argument between between you, Chris, and myself. And we would let the full council decide where the appointments should be on the agenda. So the full council is going to take a vote and decide as to whether to add these as an agenda item. Madam Clerk, please call the roll to add the agenda item for police commissioner.
Clock,
Yes.
Del Santo.
Yes.
Gaida,
Yes?
Morelli,
Yes.
Morrison,
Yes.
Palmieri,
No?
Serafino,
Yes.
Zoni,
Yes.
Chaplinsky.
Yes, the motion passes 8-1 to add the police commissioner to the agenda. Thank you. We are still in councilperson communications. Anybody else would like to talk? Commissioner
So-
Gaida.
On Saturday, I was able to participate in the food drive that was held by Southington Community Services, where we delivered food to those less fortunate. I know I was there. I think I saw Commissioner Del Santo, Commissioner Chaplinsky. I don't know if I'm missing anyone. Am I missing anyone?
Morelli.
Commissioner Morelli. And it was an amazing event. We have some unsung heroes here in our town. Janet Mellon, Christine Shanley Buck, and others. There's too many to mention. All of those that go into behind-the-scenes work that goes on, and all of the bags. I know that they had already put out a social media post. I think they said over 700 bags were prepared and delivered. Our community is amazing, and I just want to say that I am proud that we were all a part of that effort.
Mr.
Good.
Chair, if I may.
Thank you. Yep.
I just wanted to also shout out two other employees who were there. I know Janet Mellon always gets the limelight, but also Kat Fisk and John Moyce, two of our unsung heroes, are always behind the scenes.
They're always
supporting
there.
Janet, and they were very happy to be there all day Saturday as well. So thank you very much for that.
900.
Oh,
Over
900.
900.
I saw it. Okay, perfect.
It's amazing.
just stole my thunder.
Sorry.
Can I?
Yes, please, go
I
ahead,
just
Jim.
want to add to that. So I also wanted to mention the fact that this past weekend, 900 bags were delivered
Just
to
speak
needy
into the mic.
families in town, and that nearly all of them were very appreciative to get this fairly anonymous gift. And I also wanted to say that, yes, we have our unsung heroes, but it takes an army to do that. And we had volunteers from Southington High School, I think the elementary schools. It's a very big undertaking, and of course, everyone that drove and delivered. And so, yes, this is a phenomenal thing, and it shows the generosity of our community. So, thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Chris?
I also was there and driving that day, but I just want to especially shout out to Janet. And the reason why is because Janet, I know, does not take additional compensation. She's entitled to it, but she does not take any overtime. And she, you know, I spoke to her that day, and she said specifically, the fact that so many people are volunteering, that she didn't feel right taking any type of comp time or hours. So, yes, I know Janet gets a lot of recognition, but I think that's important to
I
point out.
fight with her about it all the time.
I know,
because
but it's
she
important
goes above and beyond.
to let her know how much we appreciate that.
We do.
I have a couple other things as well. Since our last meeting, just a huge shout out to Southington High School Marching Band. They, on November 1st, were named first in the 2025 division for the state of Connecticut. Their show this year was entitled Steampunks. So they were the Division 4 Connecticut State Champions, winning the Caption Award for Best Music, Best Visual, Best Overall Effect, Best Percussion, and Best Color Guard section. Then November 8th, they went on to the National Championships held at MetLife Stadium, and they came in second place in the National Championships. So they were silver medalists, Division 4 National Champions, winning the Caption Award for Best Overall Effect and Best Color Guard. So that's a huge shout out to our marching band. Two other things. I know Kristen was there, and I apologize if someone else was there as well. The Historical Society had an anniversary event a couple Saturdays ago. It's incredible to see all the history there, too. I know we're fortunate to have the Barnes Museum in town as well, but the amount of history from our town and the Historical Society is amazing. So just shout out to all the organizers for that event. And last, I'd be remiss, and I told John Leary I would bring it up here. He and I were together for a lot of the day on Election Day. I guess through the town manager, I'll ask, if you can look at our facilities, especially at night when we're asking people to come out, like I know a lot of you were out there too. On Election Day, they're so dark, not well lit, not really handicap accessible the best they could be. In particular, Kelly's school, Strong School, you know, and John should agree, you know, like I said, we spoke about it quite a bit. But if we could really have a look at those, just again, you got some time before the next election, for the state election next year, I would really appreciate it, because I just want to make sure it's safe for all our residents.
I'm meeting with Superintendent Bedancy Thursday. I'll bring it up, and with Mr. Romano as well.
Perfect.
Can I add on to that, Chris? I've witnessed now 2 election cycles at Darrenowski School when you come out of the gymnasium doors and you make a left on the sidewalk. There are 2 dumpsters that are right there along the sidewalk with a gap between the 2. I have witnessed 2 elderly people fall off the sidewalk as they're walking between the 2 dumpsters. They step down. I'm not sure if that needs to be blocked off. It might need to be striped better so that people can see the step down, but that's a real safety concern. I had to help a couple people on that, and I'd appreciate if that gets looked at as well. Councilperson Communications.
I have something, Mr. Chair.
Please.
I had the pleasure and the opportunity on Thursday, the 13th of November, to go to the summit for their veteran ceremony. The town manager was there as well. It's a great event. It's the 3rd or 4th year I've gone, and Barbara Blau does such a great job setting that up, and the amount of veterans in that room is just incredible. We have, you know, our greatest generation, World War II veterans, Vietnam veterans. There were folks there from the Iraq War. So just a great time. Very proud to be there with some of our veterans in town that happen to be ill. So keep these folks in your thoughts and prayers. But she always does a really good job. It's just a great event. And also, I need to add something to the agenda as well, Mr. Chair. For new business D, I want to add
C3
C3.
or
right.
D, yep.
Yeah, C3, right. 3 appointments to our library board.
Okay. There's 3 expiring appointments to the library board, which is a chartered position. It's not a town council. Do we have a second on that?
Second.
Second from Jim. Discussion?
I just have a question.
Please.
And I understand that we're all free to make, amendments to the agenda. Why are all these things popping up now, and why weren't they on the agenda for us to discuss and review beforehand? Because I know that the agenda has been set by the Republican side as well as the Democrat side. There's input from both sides, so I don't understand why all of these are coming to light now.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay. Hearing none, we have a motion and a second. I would say, just to answer your question, it follows a similar answer. This is a chartered position. It's not the town council subcommittees. And probably the biggest reason that we have is because of the recount, we missed, this would normally be the nominating day where we would nominate all of our subcommittees. And we have the library board chair and vice chair who reached out to me and said, we only have 6 people right now. And it's a 9-member board. So they also have quorum issues if 1 or 2 people don't show up. So they asked us to consider that. And so this is what Mr. Del Santo is doing.
But then, which is fine, but then why, I just don't understand if we knew that this was an issue as Councilman Palmieri had brought up, why couldn't we just address them all at once and be done?
I would like to have. That's what was proposed. As discussed, I asked to have all of them put on. Mr. Palmieri did not want the library board, and Mr. Palmieri did not want the police commission.
Are there more coming?
These are the only ones that I know of.
Stay tuned.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Clock,
Yes.
Del Santo,
Yes.
Gaeta,
No.
Morelli,
Yes.
Morrison,
Yes.
Palmieri,
No.
Serafino,
Yes.
Zoni,
No.
Chaplinsky.
Yes, the motion passes 6-3 to add the agenda item to item 10, new business C3, 3 appointments to the library board. Okay, we are moving on, still in councilperson communications. Anybody else like to say, Tony?
Yeah, just quickly, speaking on elections, there was another recount, and they're becoming rather familiar.
Yeah, just talking to the
They're
mic.
becoming
Maybe
rather
pull it closer.
familiar these days with elections. And the recount we had was done in the basement of the town hall, and it was A, incredibly uncomfortable, and B, obviously more so, incredibly uncomfortable for the moderators who were doing the recounting. So it wasn't an optimum environment for it. But so I would suggest, 2 years down the road, although this is obviously a decision made by registrars as well as town manager, town clerk, I would advise that we move we move all the machines up somewhere where they're in a location with enough space, whether that's in the library, whether that's in the old town council chambers. And we also moved the big machine we had in the conference room, we moved that as well. If we have space, then you'll have enough room for people to observe correctly, and we'd have enough room for the moderators as well. So I'd just like to put that in people's heads. So next year or the year after, we're prepared to do that.
Okay, thank you. Good suggestion to the town manager. You think you can help get the word out?
I'll speak with the registrars. The issue is space. They're based out of town hall. They store their equipment literally in the hallways. And to move it twice, they weren't expecting the recount, so they moved all their equipment back from the polling locations, stored it all, got it prepped for next year, and then all of a sudden we're told, bring it back out on a moment's notice. It's not ideal. As you may have seen the early voting last year was done in the basement, and it was not ideal. So we moved it to the library, which got fantastic feedback by the residents. So I will ask them to be prepared for a recount in the future at a more opportune location.
We're making progress. We went from the basement to the library for early voting, and now we're going to make a further adaptation. I love it.
No more recounts.
Agility. No more recounts. Okay, good suggestion, Tony, thanks. Anybody else on councilperson communications before we move on? Anybody? Okay, just a couple small things for me. Again, congrats on the elections. The community service, I just can't say enough. It's just so great to see so many people involved and all of the residents who came out. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans, since we haven't had a meeting since then. And the Unico dinner, I know we have, we had a Unico dinner since our last election, so I think we have a member, Dave, who was involved in setting that up. So thank you to Unico for continuing to hold that event every year. Or it's every year, but it's always the day before the election, which is really nice to see so many people come out. So congrats to Unico on that. Okay, so we will move on to item 4, reports of special committees. And America 250 didn't have a meeting, so there's no report, Tony. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah.
I would just like to make one statement on that, in that Tony is going to be focusing his efforts elsewhere, and so he will not be on that committee. And I will be asking Victoria Triano, who's here, to be the chair. She's already on the committee. So Victoria will take the chair, and I would like to also announce that we will make Phil Wooding a full member of the committee. A little bit of an oversight on my side in the past, and we want to make sure that Phil is on there as a voting member. So Phil will be on the team as well. He was already on helping in a support role. He will now be a full member of that committee. Okay, so item 5, Town Manager's Report on Communications, A, snow plowing loaders bids.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Before I get to the bids, I just want to congratulate everybody on the election. Looking forward to working with you the next 2 years. If you may, after the meeting, if we can just stand back, the town clerk, the 2 town attorneys, to grab a quick photo for my Facebook page, I'd really appreciate it. We'll get it on the town website if you have a minute, so thank you.
Get a haircut.
I can give you one, I'll go to my car, get the Vic. And secondly, you usually would see a Board of Finance minutes on here. They did meet last week. I do want to give you a quick update. The minutes aren't ready, so they're not on the agenda. They did meet. They had several presentations from the Fire Commission. They had a presentation from the Registrar's Office. And the big thing that they did, and we have a member in the audience, is they changed their schedule to meet on the 3rd Wednesday of every month. The reason being is when the reports come to the Finance Department, they come in typically on a Monday or Tuesday of the 2nd week of the month, and then they'd have to scramble to try to get their reporting in for the Board of Finance after the agenda's already been published. So they're gonna have better reporting for the Board of Finance, so your minutes should be a little bit more up to date. They'll be a month in advance, so it should be a win-win for everybody. I'm looking forward to working with them. They've got a great team there as well. And yes, Mr. Chair, onto those snow plowing bids. So if you were here a few months ago, you may remember we did a bunch of bids for snow. We didn't get any loader bids. Nobody submitted bids for the loaders. So we specifically went back and asked our vendors who bid last year, why didn't you bid? What happened? They told us, oh, we forgot about it. So we went out to bid again just for the loaders. We did the entire package again, and we reminded everybody to please bid again. So the one vendor who bid last year bid again, that's Martin Lavaro. We only use them if it's a monster storm, if it's something where you just start trucking material from downtown. Downtown, we truck almost every storm with our equipment, but if it really piles up, we'll bring in additional equipment. So that's on your agenda under new business for approval tonight.
Thank you. How about any questions on snow plowing loaders bid? Okay, hearing none. B, results of November referendum.
So this is just an informational. There was Clerk Larkin put together a nice spreadsheet of all the election tabulation results that she submitted to the state. They're in your packet. I don't know if they're also posted on the State of Connecticut's Secretary of State website. if you want to kind of dig more into the data. But the Excel spreadsheet that Kathy put together is in your packet, so if you want to reference it at any time for anything. And that concludes my report, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any questions on the election? Yeah, please, Mike.
Alex, will that be also on the website, on the Southington website, or does it have to get cleared by the state first?
No, it's already cleared by the state. Everything, all the results are to the state. That's the official posting. That spreadsheet is more internal.
Yeah.
The registrars usually post that. I don't know if they've done that. It's usually
It's
on
not
the
up
Register
yet.
Our Voters page.
Yeah, it's not up yet.
Okay, I will check. with
As
them.
of maybe last week. It could have been, but I didn't see it. 24 is the last one up. Okay. So, thank you.
Okay, I'll check on that.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, thank you, Mr. Town Manager. Item 6, Town Attorney's Report,
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm happy to report, I don't have a report.
except that you have work to do between now and the next
Yes,
meeting.
that's so true. Yes, I do.
And you're still here in the meeting, but you don't get billed for, no billings for tonight.
Lou, I want you sitting right behind him.
He's pro bono.
Okay. All right. Item 7, Public Communications. We're taking, anybody who's a resident from town can come on up and talk for 5 minutes. Ask everybody to be respectful, and we will also respect you back. If you are a resident, you can speak. Please state your name and address for the record.
Dr. Laurel Triano, 61 Russell Road. I'm joined this evening by many of my neighbors to present a petition asking the town of Southington to install sidewalks and crosswalks on Clark Street in Milldale. For those who aren't familiar, Milldale is located in the south end of town, bordering Marion, Plantsville, and Cheshire. Clark Street, with an average traffic volume of 3,200 vehicles a day, runs through the heart of our neighborhood. This busy state road does not have continuous public sidewalks or crosswalks. The only segment of sidewalk on Clark Street is in front of the fire station built 32 years ago and stopped abruptly just before the intersection with 5 residential roads. Unlike most of Southington, those of us who live in Milldale don't have mail delivery and are assigned a P.O. box at the post office on Clark Street. A mundane task like picking up the mail is unnecessarily hazardous for us. Our children get on and off the school bus on Clark Street, including at times of day when there are higher traffic volumes with increased speeds. Our neighborhood has ready access to the linear trail, an invaluable community resource supported by our tax dollars. However, most of us who live in Milldale can't get there safely due to the lack of sidewalks on crosswalks, including on Clark Street. In 2017, a Milldale resident asked the town to complete the sidewalk on a section of Clark Street. At the time, she was expecting a baby and explained that she did not feel safe pushing a stroller on the narrow shoulder of the busy state road. The town polled 20 property owners on Clark Street and Meriden Waterbury Road, with the rationale for including these latter individuals unclear based on the proposed sidewalk location. These property owners were also informed that they'd be responsible for paying for half of the sidewalk. The town received only 13 responses to its inquiry. The majority didn't support the sidewalk, with many, understandably, objecting to the financial burden of installation of a public sidewalk on a state road that also intersects with several other streets in Milldale, including Longo Drive, Jennifer Lynn Drive, Russell Road, Windcrest Court, Todd Road, and Burritt Street. Within less than 2 months' time, this reasonable request for a much-needed sidewalk safety improvement was considered a closed issue. Now, nearly a decade later, the same concerns about the lack of sidewalks on Clark Street persist. There's now more traffic on the road, as well as more development in the immediate area, including less than a mile away at Stonebridge Crossing in Cheshire and on Meriden Waterbury Road, as approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission this summer. The site plan for the project at 1608 Meriden Waterbury Road specifically stipulates that during construction, all truck traffic is to exit to Clark Street, thereby adding more vehicle activity to an already busy state road with virtually no safety measures for non-motorists. Since the denied sidewalk request in 2017, the town has not prioritized significant safety or infrastructure improvements in Milldale compared to other areas of Southington. Sidewalks elsewhere in town have been installed with grant funding or from budgets that result in no direct cost to adjacent property owners. These same opportunities should be extended to the residents of Milldale. There are several hundred of us whose safety is adversely impacted every day by the lack of crosswalks and sidewalks on a high-traffic road in the center of our neighborhood. And it has been like this for many decades. Since 2015, there have been 20 motor vehicle crashes on Clark Street, with the most recent occurring in June of this year. In 2019, there was a fatal crash at the intersection of Clark Street and Meriden Waterbury Road. A study published last year by the Capital Region Council of Governments ranked this Clark Street intersection number 13 out of 61 statewide recommended for conversion to a single-lane roundabout to improve safety. Within the past 10 years, there have been 1 bicycle-related and 5 pedestrian-related crashes in Milldale. We fear that it is only a matter of time before such an event happens to one of us or our family members while walking, biking, or rolling on Clark Street where there are no sidewalks or crosswalks. None of us wants to become one of these statistics, especially in our own neighborhood. The fact that Clark Street is a state road does not and should not preclude the town from making these safety improvements. Though coordination with the Connecticut Department of Transportation is required, there are also opportunities for grant funding through this and other agencies, and we ask that the town pursue these. Several such programs have already been shared with town staff. At the state level, Representative Poulos has indicated his willingness to support any relevant funding applications submitted by the town. Our petition indicates widespread support for necessary safety improvements to Clark Street. It also more accurately reflects how many residents in our neighborhood are affected, compared to the handful of property owners the town polled almost 10 years ago. We are asking the town of Southington to prioritize the safety and well-being of all of us in Milldale. Installing sidewalks and crosswalks on Clark Street will benefit everyone who lives, works, and plays there. And in addition to the accompanying the petition, we also have some written statements from residents who were not able to attend the meeting this evening, and also some statements from some of our children who wanted to share how these improvements in our neighborhood would directly impact them.
Thank you. If you can give those to the clerk, that would be wonderful. Thank you. And we'll put those into the meeting minutes. Madam Clerk, thank you. Okay, anybody else would like to come on up and speak on this or another topic? Anybody? Okay, thank you for the comments. We'll, I would say we're going to close the public hearing. I'm sorry, the public communications. We'll hopefully get the Public Works Committee up and running, which I think, is a committee that can take these type of things if, and pull up some of the old work that's been done. Okay. Why don't we move on to item 8, old business. Anything under old business? I don't think we have anything, right? Okay. Then number 9, new business. Item A, action on snow plowing, loader's bid. I'm looking for a motion to approve Martin Lavero.
Martin Lavero. Second.
We have a motion, a second from Councilman Zoni. Any discussion? Sorry, Dave.
One question. Is this a local company, Lavero?
Bristol.
Bristol? Thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor of Martin Lavero?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes unanimously. Item B, tax refunds.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the tax refunds as outlined in our packet.
Wonderful. Thank you, Councilwoman Gaida.
I'll second.
Mike?
Yeah, I'll second.
Second from Mike. Any discussion on the tax refunds? Any discussion? No? Okay. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes unanimously. Appointments. 1, Fire Commission, 1 member, 4-year term, November 2029.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to present the name of former Conservative Commission member Timothy J. Wilk,
Okay,
Town of Southington here.
we have Tim Wilk from Mike and a second from Jim. Any discussion on Tim Wilk? Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Clark,
Yes.
Del Santo.
Yes.
Gaida,
Yes.
Morelli,
Yes.
Morrison,
Yes.
Palmieri,
Yes.
Serafino,
Yes.
Zoni,
Yes.
Chaplinsky.
Yes, congratulations to Tim Wilk, former Conservation Commission member and now a member of the Fire Commission. Item 2, Police Commissioner. This is the term from Michael Ricchio. We're looking for a motion to reappoint Mr. Ricchio.
I'll make a motion to reappoint Michael Ricchio to the Police Commission.
Second.
We have a motion from the Vice Chair and a second from Mr. Del Santo. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Clark,
Yes.
Del Santo.
Yes.
Gaida,
Yes.
Morelli,
Yes.
Morrison,
Yes.
Palmieri,
Yes.
Serafino,
Yes.
Zoni,
Yes.
Chaplinsky.
Yes, motion passes unanimously for Mr. Ricchio. Congratulations. Mike's in the back of the room. Item 3, Library Board.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to present 3 names. I guess we gotta do it one more time.
Do it one at a time.
Okay, for the first one, I'd like to reappoint Ms. Deborah Morrow, who's currently serving on
We have
the
a
Library
motion.
Board.
I'll second that.
Second from Jim. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Madam Clerk?
Clock,
Yes.
Del Santo.
Yes.
Gaida,
Yes.
Morelli,
Yes.
Morrison,
Yes.
Palmieri,
Yes.
Serafino,
Yes.
Zoni,
Yes.
Chaplinsky.
Yes, motion passes unanimously for Debbie Morrow. Congratulations, Deborah. I've heard a lot of great things.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to present the name to serve on the Library Board of Sincere Cipriano.
Sansere?
Sansere, sorry.
Missy.
We all know her as Missy. She's a superstar.
Motion from Mike and a second from Jim. Any discussion on Missy? Okay, hearing none. Madam Clerk?
Clock,
Yes.
Del Santo.
Yes.
Gaida,
Yes.
Morelli,
Yes.
Morrison,
Yes.
Palmieri,
Yes.
Serafino,
Yes.
Zoni,
Yes.
Chaplinsky.
Yes, motion passes unanimously, and we're looking for one more appointment.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to present the name of Mr. Zachary Fody, a new member to the Library Board of 250 Budding Ridge Road here in the great town of Southington. Maybe Plantsville. Is that
We have a
Plantsville?
motion from Mike and a second from Jim.
Is it Plantsville?
Plainsville.
Sorry. Is it Southington? It's
Is it? It's not Plainville? Okay, Budding Ridge Road, 250. Mike made the motion and Jim made the second. Any discussion about Zach Fody? Okay, hearing none. Madam Clerk?
Clock,
Yes.
Del Santo.
Yes.
Gaida,
Yes.
Morelli,
Yes.
Morrison,
Yes.
Palmieri,
Yes.
Serafino,
Yes.
Zoni,
Yes.
Chaplinsky.
Yes, motion passes unanimously. Appreciate everybody's willingness to work on those appointments. And, you know, we're behind the 8 ball a little bit because of the recount. We're 2 weeks behind. This would normally be our reappointment meeting, so I appreciate getting the chartered positions up and running. Looking for a motion to
Mr. Chair, can I
adjourn.
make a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Second.
Second from Mr. Zoni. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thanks, everybody.
Aye.
Oh, yeah, photo.